Even if you're not a sports bettor, you're going to love this segment, Todd's Odds, with Todd Fuhrman, our sports betting expert and former odds maker from Caesars Palace in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's where Todd joins us. Todd, I don't know if you heard, but Mike McCarthy is out as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. There's going to be a new head coach in Big D. Here are the odds brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. And FanDuel, Todd, has Deion Sanders as the favorite, followed by 4 offensive coordinators that are still in the playoffs, and then the former Dallas Cowboy tight end Jason Witten. Do you see a name you actually like here, Todd Fuhrman?
I mean, look, Jay, the bottom line is this. Even if folks are watching this segment and don't bet sports, we don't really talk about sports betting anyways. We're going to go on a variety of different tangents. But yes, I did get wind that the Cowboys were making a change at head coach. And I think they have the wrong name favored at our friends at FanDuel with Deion Sanders at -105. I think Kellen Moore, in my opinion, has the inside track. Now, the Cowboys are going to have to wait, depending on how long the Philadelphia Eagles postseason goes on. But Kellen Moore has a relationship with Dak Prescott. He's familiar with the inner workings of the Dallas Cowboys organization, for better or worse. And I'm not sure I'll use this word as a compliment, but he may be the most malleable potential head coaching candidate on that list that would decide he would allow Jerry Jones to continue to rule with an iron fist, for better or worse.
Yep, I think that's a good assessment. Let's move on to the divisional round. The Bills opened as slight home favorites over the Baltimore Ravens. Now that has flipped, Todd, and now it is the Ravens who are road favorites in Buffalo this weekend. Does that surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me all that much, Jay, because when you go back and look at some of the power ratings that are more forward-facing, there are a lot of odds makers and professional bettors that I respect that have had the Baltimore Ravens, the #1 power-rated team in the league, going all the way back to about week 12 or week 13, when their defense that had started to turn the corner didn't look to be much of a mirage. We've seen this Ravens team really hum on both sides of the ball. The only piece they could be missing this weekend is Zay Flowers, and I'm not going to undersell his value for Lamar Jackson and an ability to stretch the field. But if you can put the Lamar Jackson postseason narrative to the side, I think Buffalo is going to have their hands full. But I'm not making a case to back the Ravens here. I think the betting market has it right.
Todd, would you like to take a bout? You deserve to take a bout. You picked the Commanders last week as an upset pick. You were bang on that one. My question for you, do you want to double down this week against the Lions, or do you see a different dog winning this weekend?
So I am going to hedge my bets a little bit. And both NFC games, I think, are a little bit more wide open than the Kansas City Chiefs, who are more than a touchdown favorite in the Houston Texans game. Now, you mentioned the Commanders against the Lions. I think this has the potential to be a high-variance outcome. It wouldn't shock me if Detroit ran away and hid from Washington, but what we've seen from the Cardiac Commanders, they're one of the most efficient teams in the league when it comes to converting 4th downs. No moment seems to be too big for Jaden Daniels, so they may have a chance to hang around. But the other game, I think, is where it's a little bit more fascinating. We saw the Rams put together a complete 4 quarters against the Minnesota Vikings. While I have questions about their offense, I think if the Rams are able to get through this particular spot, they can be a thorn in the Cowboys. See what you did to me, Jay? I'm all sorts of rattled in the Lions side. But no, that's my long-winded way of saying I don't think we see an upset in the NFC.
Now, here's another reason, though, you do deserve to take another bow, because last week you said you'd take a flyer on the LA Rams to win the NFC. You even said you'd take a flyer on them to win the Super Bowl. And wow, did they ever look great in beating the Minnesota Vikings this past Monday in the wild card round. You feeling even better about this Rams pick after that weekend?
I honestly wish I was, but I think all of the off-field events that the Rams have had to go through with getting their game relocated to Phoenix and trying to compartmentalize football from everything else that's taken place in Southern California, this is going to be the Rams' most daunting task, going across the country, playing in frigid weather against a Philadelphia defense that is as tough as a $2 Philadelphia cheesesteak. If the Rams, by hook or by crook, are able to win this game, I actually like their odds a lot better to beat the Lions. But unfortunately for the Cinderella story that is the Los Angeles Rams, I just don't think they're strong enough on both lines of scrimmage to pull off the upset. And I think they struggle to move the ball against this Vic Fangio-led Eagles defense.
Just 7 games left in this NFL season, so we got to enjoy it while we can. Todd Fuhrman, you're the best. We'll chat with you next week, buddy.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Enjoy the games this weekend.
Yes, and there's only one place to see the games this weekend in Canada, and that's right here on TSN. A look at the divisional round schedule. First up, Chiefs against the Texans, then the Lions, against the Commanders Sunday, Rams and Eagles, and that finishes up with the Ravens and the Bills. The Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen marquee matchup. You can see all 4 games right here on TSN. And after those primetime games on Saturday and Sunday night, join me and Luke Wilson. Luke's going to break down all the games, and we'll look ahead to the championship games the following weekend. We follow all the primetime games this season.